I was 19 years old, fresh out of school, just finished traveling for 6 months, backpacking in Europe, full of ambition and zero patience. I'd been working for construction for 2 years, getting my hands dirty and learning the trade. I gained a lot of experience from that, like hard work, perseverance, and working when you don't feel like it. But I really had more ambition than just working in the trades because I didn't feel like I could get ahead. When I looked around the people around me, I didn't see the opportunity to keep growing. Around that time, I started working at a car dealership. I got the job because my business partner Seth was working there, and my idea was that I could film and make videos of every single car. It didn't take long. It took 1 month until we realized we were building somebody else's dreams. We weren't building our own. And the future at that dealership didn't look too bright at that time. So that's when we took the big leap. We quit after 1 month for me. It was 2 months in for Seth, and we took the leap and quit. We came across this provider called Vendesta, and we put a group of us together. It was me, Seth, and Ben. We put together $7,000 and purchased Vendesta as a white label provider. But it didn't take us very long that we realized that investment wasn't very smart because their fulfillment and delivery just wasn't there. Things just didn't go as planned. Vendesta wasn't as good as the hype made it out to be, and it didn't serve our clients the way that we thought it would. This was the first moment where it was like, hey, do we give up or do we keep going? Because we just wasted $7,000. We had like 4 unhappy customers, and this was the first test where it was like, hey, are we gonna keep going or are we gonna just quit? Because at that time, quitting was easier. We didn't have any money, we didn't have any customers, and Vendesta just failed us. Giving up truly isn't in my DNA. And so we kept going. We actually kept pushing, and we hired an employee who could take care of the work that Vendesta screwed up. And we actually hired employees. We got an office building. It was a dumb idea, but we got 2 new cars, and we just kept expanding. We had a sales team going, we had a development floor going, and it was more than we could comprehend at that time. Month over month, we were growing rapidly. We went from $0 when we first started with Vendesta to the final, we did $94,000 in revenue. But here's the thing, growth on paper doesn't mean you're actually growing. We learned a lot, and that's how we grew. But the numbers were growing, but so were our expenses. So it didn't take long before, the expenses exceeded our revenue, which created a problem. Eventually, it became very clear that we just couldn't keep up because we were selling like crazy, but the development team was backed up and we couldn't sustain. It literally felt like everything we worked for was like slipping away from our fingers. I put in 16, 17-hour days for years to make this thing go, and all of a sudden it just disappeared just like that. But here's the thing, when you fail, you don't actually lose because you just learned a lot of information. Every mishap, every dollar lost, all the time wasted, none of that was actually wasted because we were learning through the whole process. What I came to realize was we went through the school of hard knocks. We never came from money, and we never came from super educated parents who are doing what we're doing. We're carving our own path and making our own impact. And so we learned a tremendous amount. I like to say that it was our $1.8 million college tuition because truly we learned so much. And even though that money disappeared and the team disappeared, it was the learning lessons that are invaluable that I'll always appreciate. After we dusted ourselves off, actually worked and paid back all the people who we owed and made everything right. Again, quitting isn't in our DNA, so we just kept on going. We just took everything we learned. We took all our hiring experience, all our firing experience, all our customer acquisition experience, all our advertising experience, all our experience in management, all our experience in getting funding, everything. We took that and restarted with Jump Marketing. Jump Marketing and Home Builder Marketers have been built after the trials and the tribulations. Truly, those trials and tribulations, as much as I didn't want them to happen, they were 100% needed for us to create the successful companies they are today, Jump Marketing and Home Builder Marketers. Because if I didn't go through those failures, I wouldn't now know what are the number 1 things that are holding the business back. And so now we know the strategies to use to grow, simply because we aren't making the same bad mistakes that we did the last time, and that's increased our RAF a ton. Today, we're truly only successful because of those early failures. Now we've built something real, something that's grounded with experience. We don't just talk about business, we actually live it. We're running on the ground day in and day out, working on our business, and we're working in the business. The reason we have the credibility to talk about this stuff is because we've been through the school of hard knocks. Every single thing that I'm talking about, I have confidence in because I've actually done it. It's true, tried, and tested. I've already wasted the tens of thousands of dollars on Facebook ads just so that you don't have to. We know what it's like to struggle, repeat, struggle, and rebuild yourself back up again. We've gone through the school of hard knocks, and that's why you can take what we're saying seriously, is because we've actually done it. So if you're trying to build something, remember, failure is just a teacher. If you enjoyed this story and want more insights on what building a company looks like, failing, and winning, then drop in the comments what more insights you'd like to know, and I'd be more than happy to make another video on it. Remember, a setback is just a step back for you to take your next step forward.